What do you mean you've never heard of Timecrafters? It features the distinguished acting talent of Malcolm McDowell, Patrick Muldoon, and Denise Richards. It has pirates and time travel. It has the most realistic parrot ever set to film.
Mr. Pistol, glad to help.
Well, since you're clearly lacking in culture, allow me to learn you some things. Timecrafters, The Treasure of Pirates Cove, is a movie about a group of kids who find a treasure map to a famous pirate's treasure that is in no way similar to any beloved 80s kids movie. Because time travel. The epic saga of Timecrafters opens with a great sweeping shot of the ocean, a lone ship sailing past, and a very passable monologue from a child actor. We see a fierce sea battle, and are treated to some truly mind-blowing special effects. And some dialogue that was clearly recorded in a cave with a toaster.
She's carrying treasure for sure.
We're introduced to the obvious MacGuffin for a pirate movie, a treasure map. The ship is taken by pirates, and we're introduced to a very important and originally named character, Mr. Pistol, by a man who does not seem to know what accent he has.
Ah, Mr. Pistol. This one here is going on and on about the lost treasure of William Kidd.
Then Mr. Pistol is given the aforementioned map by a man who knows exactly what accent he has.
He's crazy from the sun.
Captain Lynch, played by esteemed actor Malcolm McDowell, comes downstairs to establish himself as a jerk by reminding Mr. Pistol he killed his dad.
You see, it's thoughts like that that seal the fate of your father.
To which Mr. Pistol reacts like when your racist uncle makes a joke about immigrants at the family barbecue.
Yeah. So?
Lynch takes a nap and brings his new map, which Mr. Pistol plans to kidnap. He sneaks into Lynch's cabin in the dead of night, allowing Malcolm McDowell to really show off his acting chops. Pistol steals the map, jumps ship, and sets sail with a few of Captain Lynch's crew. Captain Lynch, obviously peeved by Pistol, gives chase, so we get even more amazing special effects. Before he can sink the scallywags, making off with his booty, someone with an Indian accent, I think, spots a storm off the port bow. It's only now that we see on the ship that they've sauntered away with sits some sort of scintillating contraption. The ship is struck by lightning and the entire thing disappears. We're whisked away to Pirates Cove when we meet Josh paddling down a river. His ghost dad, Patrick Muldoon, fades in for a sec to give him some sage advice.
That's it, Josh. Forward stretch, pull through, feather. You're getting great at this, bud.
No idea what any of that means, but apparently Josh appreciates it. Josh meets up with his friends Chip, Bridge, and Hedge at the beach.
Hey guys, I think I dropped something.
Nice one, Hedge.
So Hedge actually manages to find something.
I think I really got something. Booyah!
That's a rolled up piece of carpet, Hedge. You found a rolled up piece of carpet. So it turns out the rolled up carpet is actually a treasure map of Pirates Cove where they all live.
Hedgie baby, I will never doubt you again.
Bridge suggests they show it to her dad, who's a police officer, in case someone lost it, but Hedge doesn't want to in case it ends up in a museum.
That belongs in a museum!
Chip then says,
Dude, sending us out? Thought we were a team.
which is pretty rich for someone who tried to convince him that he was stupid for looking for treasure on a beach.
By the way, the odds of discovering anything of value with a metal detector on a public beach are very slim.
Before they can do anything with the treasure map, Josh remembers that they all have summer school, so they rush off. In the next scene, we see the pirates have washed up on shore and gotten arrested because they were sleeping on a beach in costumes. We also get introduced to the movie's villain, who only looks a little bit like a steampunk incel. As the kids are heading home, they pass by Byron's house, who they clearly don't like, and they get annoyed at Hedge for having the treasure map out.
Put that away. You want Byron to see it?
But like, he didn't have it out or anything. It's just sitting in its satchel thing over his shoulder like it has been the whole time. Where were they expecting him to put it? So Byron, who's this little Jedward-looking prick, tells them to stop, which they do for some reason. He then tells them that they're ruining his view, which they wouldn't be if he hadn't told them to stop. Hedge starts to get aggressive, but luckily Bridge steps in to demonstrate an essential skill for women. Placating dickheads so you can get on with your day.
Hey, Byron. Hello, Bridget. What's up? Oh, nothing.
Bridge tells him that they're taking donations to the orphanage, which I'm pretty sure isn't a thing anymore. Also, I thought you were going to summer school. Also, what are you donating? Byron says some vaguely philosophical crap to prove that he's the worst.
The answer to that question is what's known as the universal answer. The answer that cuts through, clarifies, and captures the essence of desires of people around the world. And what's that? Money.
Then turns on a sprinkler to chase them off. The kids then head to their pirate-themed cubby house to make a blood pact. They take a closer look at the map, and Chip says,
This map makes no sense. Where's the X?
because apparently the super smart kid doesn't realize that maps aren't just for getting to one specific place. They all agree that they're going to share whatever they find, and they leave it in the cubby house for safekeeping. And now we get to the part we've all been waiting for, Denise Richards. And also Johnny Knoxville. Denise is organising a play. It doesn't seem to be going well. All the actors are terrible, this man doesn't know how microphones work, and Betsy is being an annoying method actor who won't answer the phone.
Aunt Victoria, can you call me by my stage name, Constance?
Denise is frustrated by the lack of professionalism and talent. She really puts on a good performance here. I don't know what experience she could be drawing from. Betsy finally answers the phone, and it turns out it's the sheriff about the pirates he found on the beach. He's calling them because he thinks they're part of the play. She goes to leave, but before she can, Denise asks her to grab some pirate props from her house, and Betsy tells her nails look terrible.
Don't worry, I can fix them.
Fix what?
Those nails.
Stop. Nails.
Remember that! It's very important foreshadowing. The kids are in school and we see that their teacher is the creep from earlier. And he's obsessed with time travel and he's still definitely evil. And then we have this really weird undercranked shot, which I don't think is intentional because it's for 2 seconds and they never do it again. Betsy grabs some pirate toys from the cubby house as well as the map. Then we get this scene to establish that Byron's dad is kind of a shady dude. In fact, he's straight up cartoonishly evil.
Don't mind if I dino do. Mayor Beecher. Listen, you nitwit. I don't care what you do with it. Just move it. I want that stuff out of this town pronto. People are starting to ask questions. Out of sight, out of mind.
Cut to the pirates in jail with a hardened criminal. They get let out because Betsy's turned up.
Let's go.
Come on.
Whoops, almost let Jimmy the pedophile out. Betsy tries to take a photo of the pirates and we get the start of what is the only good part of this film. The pirates being idiots.
1, 2, 3. Oh, wonderful. Let's go. Come along. This way.
They get taken to the playhouse to meet Denise Richards and do some floating.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Dare.
Oh, it's actually Mrs.
My condolences.
The kids turn up to take the map back and get a new clue when Hedgie Baby spills his lemonade on it, which, rather than destroying it, reveals some writing, which is definitely how invisible ink works. The writing also looks super weird because it's obviously CGI. Meanwhile, the pirates head to the pirate gala they're having, which turns out to be the best scene in the whole movie.
Fire!
Aren't you guys a little old for this?
Another lucky winner! Pick your prize!
Good one.
Oh.
The kids finally start getting somewhere with the treasure hunt when they realize that there's a seal that's been broken into 4 pieces that they have to get before they can find the treasure. The first one's just shoved in the map's case. Bridget says she's seen another piece, so they head to a tip shop, look around for a minute, give up, and then see it in a window as they leave. 2 pieces down and we get some very important character development for Denise. So she won't get a makeover yet because her husband's dead. It's really weird because she comes in and the hairdresser gets all excited about it, but then she says that she's just here to get her nails done. But then when she tells her that the nail polish remover might tarnish her ring, she's just like, it's fine. Fuck my dead husband. So does she care about her dead husband or not? Anyway, I'm sure her whole character arc won't just be she decides to get a makeover. That is absolutely what happens. The kids go and eavesdrop on a big town meeting and the mayor reveals his evil plot. Dinosaurs! Yeah, he wants to change the town's theme, but I don't know if it works like that. I feel like the theme for places like that kind of just comes from history. Also, I'm pretty sure what he wants is not a theme for a town, it's just a theme park. Also, I don't know how a dinosaur-themed town will do any better than a pirate-themed town, but that's his plan. The kids do some reading and decide the next piece is in a church, and after some brilliant detective work...
Shanty means song.
Josh finds the piece in a bookshelf. The piece that's been there for like 200 years. No one found that. There's some more pirate shenanigans. They get given some change and I think they get so excited their brains melt.
I could eat that bowl of loblolly.
Some cackle fruit.
Worm castle. Salmagundy.
They get pissed off at a fortune teller booth.
Can you please tell us exactly where the treasure of Captain William Kidd be hiding?
In order to find the treasures of this world, one must look within their heart. Son of a! We've been bamboozled! Take it!
Which is, again, the best part of the movie, but they also imply that the fortune teller booth is sentient.
Come back, me hearties. I was just having a little fun. I'll tell you where the treasure is.
So that's terrifying. Mr. Pistol is busy trying to seduce Denise Richards to get the map back, but when we see her inside cooking dinner, she checks her pasta, which is clearly already drained, and then starts chopping up a ludicrous amount of herbs. She's alerted to Mr. Pistol's presence by the sound of a wind chime, which must be a weird thing to hear when you live by the ocean. She's also very okay with letting a man into her house after he's just come out from behind a bush. Creepy McIncel also turns up, only to get cucked by the Chad Pistol and get way too intense of a musical sting.
Yes, another time would be lovely.
Very well.
They sit down to eye-bang each other for a bit before Josh comes home and freaks the fuck out. The thing is, there's no reason for them to be worried about the pirates yet. They haven't tried to steal the map or anything, and they just think they're actors from the pirate play. The kids go out to the lighthouse because apparently it's been turned on for the first time in years, and Bridge thinks that's a clue. How that would be a clue is beyond me. They know all of this was set up 200 years ago, right? It's an electric lighthouse. Josh goes to check out the lighthouse and turns it on. Wait, I thought they were going because it got turned on. Anyway, the lighthouse makes this happen. Somehow. So it was a clue. They put the four pieces together and then... So there's just magic now. Time-traveling pirates weren't enough for them. They had to have magic as well. More of the pirates having way more fun than anyone else in this movie.
Took 2 cannonballs portside, and then they arrived. 13 tiger sharks and a giant squid.
So Mr. Pistol was trying to get the map from Denise Richards, and he says that he knows exactly where it was, which is a goddamn lie, Jeffrey! The last time he saw the map was in the van, and the other pirates just saw the map with the kids. We get to have Denise Richards' big moment in the film.
Marge, it's time.
Time for what, dear?
Something new.
The kids head to a graveyard, which is in soft focus and reminds me way too much of a scene from Buffy. I also can't tell if it's the middle of the night or not anymore, because all the stuff that was explicitly at the middle of the night looks the exact same. But then they keep having these parts where it's bright and sunny, so either it was a cloudy day or they just forgot to color correct half of their film. They start looking for a stump because clearly the tree they need to triangulate the treasure has been cut down. We have a brief pirate interlude where we see that Denise is now made up like a pirate wench and Mr. Pistol can't find his sword.
Do you like it? I think it might be a little over the top.
Well, I've forgotten my sword.
Also, one of the pirates is off getting frisky in a cupboard with Constance.
Sorry to interrupt. We do have a show to put on here.
Right. Of course, I'm sorry.
Just give it a minute, love.
Back to the kids, and Hedge is complaining about trying to find the stump, so of course he immediately trips over it. The thing is, like, look at this stump. It's goddamn huge. How did he trip over that? Unless it is at night. They find the spot on the map, which turns out to be this thing, and then they head down into the crypt. So they find a message that's something about love being worth more than gold, but they see through that crap immediately, because apparently now Bridge has an intimate knowledge of Billy the Kid.
Josh, are you buying this?
No.
Me neither. All you ever loved was treasure.
The pirate's called Captain William Kidd. So Billy the Kid, for some reason. Put the seal in the coffin and then head downstairs to find a giant pile of treasure. They start to celebrate, but they're interrupted by a Reddit moderator and his best friend, who's 10. Then Milady here explains that he's actually from the same time as the pirates and got sent here by accident. He then also explains he passed Josh's dad on the way. Top Hat tells his crew to take all the kids, including frickin' Byron, back to the ship because they're going back in time. Speaking of which, there's actually a music video from this movie for the song Back in Time. No, it is not Huey Lewis and the News. It's this girl called Brooklyn Chase, who is apparently some kind of TikToker. Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Chase is definitely a porn star. It's by this girl Brooklyn Queen, who I've never heard of, but is apparently a semi-famous TikToker. But the important thing is that all her music videos are directed by Marty McFly. There's also Jojo Tua, who's a guy. There's only a few other things he's done, most notably a lyric cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit. Why? Lastly, we have this absolute beast of a man double-fisting saxophones. Upon further research, he turns out to be Azar Lawrence, who worked with Miles Davis and replaced John Coltrane when he died. Now he does this. Getting back to the actual movie, Josh kicks a pirate in the nards and then escapes in a conveniently placed minecart. So this looks pretty janky. I'm pretty sure the plank of wood actually moves under his hands. They interrupt this adrenaline-fueled scene so that Mr. Pistol and Denise can eye-bang each other for a bit, and we know that the play is starting. Josh manages to get to the cultural center despite the fact that Pirates Cove is super flat. They went down 2 flights of stairs to get to the cave, and they would have had to go even further down in the minecart, because that's just how gravity works. He goes to talk to Mr. Pistol, but he's clearly treating him like a normal dude and not a time-traveling pirate, so I don't know what he was so worried about earlier. I get the trope that when one of your parents dies, you want the other one to be lonely for the rest of their lives because you're a selfish little prick, but he seemed genuinely concerned for their safety. He tells him what happened, but before they can go to rescue everyone, another pirate that literally hasn't been a character until 2 minutes ago attacks Mr. Pistol and they stumble on stage in their struggle. I've not intentionally put this much alliteration in this video. They have a sword argument, which is not what I call sword fighting. They just have an argument whilst trying to stab each other. They seem to be implying that this guy was part of the mutiny, but now he's siding with Professor Sigma Male, but I have no idea who he is. It doesn't really matter because Josh drops a chandelier on their head. Did you notice that? They wanted to have the chandelier drop right on you, but they didn't have it center frame on the camera. So they just moved the whole frame. This is a professional effects company. You shot on 8K cameras. You had the resolution to do stuff like this. Look, I did it myself! I'm actually assuming that's why these effects are so terrible, is because they spent all their money getting 8K cameras. I also think the Cultural Center should consider if it's strictly necessary for their swords to be sharp enough to cut through a rope like this. The crowd applauds because getting hit by a giant metal chandelier doesn't leave any kind of blood or sign of visible injury. So the pirates rush off to the ship and they sneak on under some of the worst voice lines I've ever heard.
Adams, prepare to cast off. I'll tend to this calamitous.
He sounds like a ghost. Josh comes to save his friends, but not before considering leaving Byron to be literally murdered by pirates.
I say leave him.
Right.
Pistol and the proto-incel start having a mop and sword fight. While Mr. Pistol's getting his ass kicked, someone from a 90s music video attacks Josh by framing him. But Betsy bashes his brains out. Suddenly, and also incredibly stupidly, Captain Lynch shows up for no apparent reason.
I'm my own time machine now, Pistol.
Alright then. This frame looks the exact same as the other one did. Nothing has changed. I'm definitely not sick, and this is not a different shirt. So I was just filming for half an hour, but except I wasn't. I was just recording myself talking, and then I made a weird noise when I figured that out.
No!
So now everything just gets very densely terrible, so I'm gonna go through stuff one by one. This man sees some holes, decides to plug them, decides he doesn't need to plug them, and then just moves on, and it doesn't affect anything. This is clearly just stock footage because there's been no implication that there's a fair in town.
Oh, diddly poop!
Oh, diddly poop. These fireworks are clearly supposed to be going up and not across.
Dying's the easy part, Mr. Pistol. It's the living what's hard.
So just as Mr. Pistol's about to get skewered, some random pirate we've never seen before clocks the bad guy and chucks him off the ship. Before Mr. Pistol can thank the mysterious stranger, we learn that Josh has fallen down a well.
Help! Help! Help!
So he's unconscious, right? With his face underwater? But he just yelled for help? The pirate jumps in to save him, and we get this shot, which I'm pretty sure is the exact same one as before, but I'll have to check when I'm editing. He grabs Josh and swims off, and then both of the ships sail into another lightning storm. I still don't know if the machine makes the lightning storms or if it's like Back to the Future rules, but it's dumb either way. Bridget gets mad at her dad for not reading her voicemail.
Bridget, what's going on here?
Dad, did you read my message?
No.
He and his dad were behind this whole thing.
She then shows him that Byron and his dad are evil, and he takes the mayor off to arrest him.
He and his dad were behind this whole thing. Even the burglaries of our town's artifacts, weren't you? Yes, but you know my dad. It was just business.
So that's all our villains dealt with, I guess. Travis Bickle is probably face down drowning right now. Captain Lynch is gone, but presumably he's still chasing the other pirates. And the mayor will probably be fine because I doubt the court will accept the admission of a 12-year-old, and he's a rich white dude. To wrap things up, we have this really awkward scene where the two actors clearly don't know what they're supposed to be doing with each other. And they finally reveal that the mysterious pirate is actually Josh's dad.
Dad? Yes. How did you come back?
Love.
I'm pretty sure it was a time machine, actually. We go to Josh doing another voiceover, which basically boils down to the real treasure was the friends we made along the way. We get some Where Are They Now style clips, but they really gloss over the fact that Betsy now lives in the 1800s. She does not seem like the kind of person who can handle that. I also feel bad for Mr. Pistol, because he gets kind of screwed in this film, and the last thing you see of him is just him sadly sailing the ship. It's a pretty decent ending, nice message. So they fucked that right up.
Can't believe we got our hands on all that treasure and then just let it go.
We'll just wait till they come back.
Odds of them coming back are slim and none.
What if someone altered the day coordinates of the time machine?
You did what?
It's a pretty weird scene to add at the end of the movie. I think they wanted a sequel. So that's it for the actual movie, but I also wanted to mention this poster. First off, it's clearly a ripoff of Pirates of the Caribbean. Secondly, what the hell did they do to Malcolm McDowell and Denise Richards? He looks like a cartoon, and she just looks wrong. So this movie was bad. It was terribly made, and I don't know why anyone would watch it, but I'm sure in like 10 years, there's going to be kids who like see this the same way I do George of the Jungle or Spy Kids, so at least it seems like a legitimate attempt to make a kids movie and not just like a shitty cash grab. And now, nothing, I guess.